Have you ever stopped to think about what the architecture of our future really looks like? I'm not talking about buildings or cities. I mean the invisible systems, the ones that are about to run everything from our national security to artificial intelligence. Well, today, we're going to unpack a huge new concept, a framework that's being designed to build that exact future. So our story kicks off with a bit of a mystery. A new brand identity has just appeared on the scene. It's a symbol that seems to sit right at the crossroads of quantum science, AI, and secure communications. But what is it? This is ALIUM. Now, on the surface, yeah, it's a logo. But behind this design, there is an entire ecosystem, a whole philosophy for how we're going to build and interact with the incredible technologies of tomorrow. So let's decode it. You know, every single piece of this logo was chosen for a reason. That hexagonal frame, it's all about the stability and structure of an atomic lattice. That light in the middle, that's pure knowledge, energy. The lines shooting outwards are all about innovation and transformation. And the colors, that blue and gold, they're meant to make you feel trust and excellence. See, this isn't just branding, it's a mission statement. And here it is, the big reveal. ALIUM actually stands for Amplified, Linear, Interdisciplinary, Unified Movement. And its goal is, wow, incredibly ambitious. It's to move us from what it calls the empire of code, our current rigid, often brittle systems, to an era of coherence, where our technology is truly aligned with ethical rules and human control. So how in the world do you build an era of coherence? Well, ALIUM's answer is pretty radical. It all starts not with what a system can do, but with what it refuses to do. It starts with the philosophy of no. The whole idea tackles what designers call the two-button tragedy. Just think about old nuclear command systems for a second. You had two keys, right? The idea was that this would make things safer. But in reality, it just spread out the responsibility. The system basically trained operators to ask, do I have permission, when they should have been asking, should this even be happening? That second button didn't stop the action, it just made it feel okay. And you know what? This exact same design flaw is everywhere today. Take a look at this fictional incident report. It shows that adding a simple Act Now button to make things more efficient actually led to a massive error. Why? Because it preys on our urgency bias. When we're given an option to just skip ahead and not think too deeply, we usually take it. The second you add that faster button, good judgment suddenly becomes optional. So ALIUM's fix for this is called the monos principle. It's a single action constraint. The interface only gives you one button, understand and act. There is no override. There's no just do it toggle. The whole philosophy here is that real intelligence gets better by subtracting options, not adding them. The system literally removes choices until the only thing left is the right ethical action. So here's how this logic of refusal is actually built into the core of the system. First, an input comes in. Then, if a critical understanding threshold is met, the action goes ahead. But if it's not met, and this is the absolute key, the system has to refuse. In an ALIUM system, saying no isn't a bug. It's not a failure. It is a designed, successful, and even desirable outcome. This whole idea of refusal and restraint, it doesn't just create more ethical systems, it creates systems that are fundamentally more resilient. We're talking about a huge shift from building things that are just strong to building things that can actually adapt and survive. This is such a great way to picture it. Think of our current AI systems like a quadrotor drone, 4 propellers. If one of those motors fails, the whole thing loses balance and just crashes. It's fragile. But an ALIUM system, it's designed more like a hexacopter with 6 motors. If one motor fails, it has the redundancy to rebalance itself, remap its power, and just keep flying. It goes from detecting a failure to recovering from it. And this incredible ability to adapt is built on 5 pillars. You've got robustness, to resist problems in the first place. Redundancy, to give it other options, just like our hexacopter. Resourcefulness, so it can find new ways to get the job done. Rapidity, to detect and recover super fast. And finally, resilience, the ability to absorb a hit, recover, adapt, and actually become stronger because of it. The ultimate goal of all these pillars is something called antifragility. And this graph shows you exactly what that means. A fragile system, system D, it just collapses after a hit. A normal, robust system, system B, it eventually gets back to where it started. But an ALIUM system, system A, it doesn't just recover. It learns from the failure. It evolves. It finds a new, better way to operate.
It literally gets stronger from stress. Okay, so we've got a brand identity, a radical philosophy of refusal, and a model for building these anti-fragile systems. And right about now, you're probably thinking, wow, this is a fascinating concept from some new tech startup or maybe a university research lab. But what we've been looking at is something much, much bigger than that. This is not some theoretical exercise on a whiteboard. This is the estimated price tag for a 10-year national strategy built entirely around the ALIUM framework. This is a plan to re-architect an entire nation's digital and defense infrastructure from the ground up.
And the plan is very real. It's broken down into 3 phases. For the first 3 years, it's all about the foundation, securing critical systems from quantum computers and building the first quantum communication corridors. The middle years, 4 to 7, are about expansion, creating regional hubs and super powerful hybrid quantum AI facilities. And finally, the last few years are about scaling this up to a national network with a secure quantum cloud and a communications grid based on quantum entanglement.
So what's the endgame with all this? Well, this massive investment has 4 very clear goals. Number 1, achieve cryptographic sovereignty, which means the nation's secrets are safe from absolutely anyone. 2, lead the world in combining AI and quantum computing. 3, build that hexacopter-style resilience into all critical national infrastructure. And finally, to be the country that gets to write the rules for this whole new era of technology. But why now, right? Why this massive, urgent investment? Well, the answer is in the timeline of the threat that this whole strategy is designed to stop.
This risk matrix lays it all out, and it is stark. In the very near future, our adversaries are going to be able to start harvest now to crypt later attacks. That means stealing our encrypted data today, knowing they can crack it open once their quantum computers are powerful enough. By the 2030s, all of our old encrypted files are basically useless. And by the 2040s, the risk is that another power achieves strategic dominance, leading to global tech dependency and, well, devastating strategic surprises. The race is already on. And this brings us right back to that central idea. In a world that is obsessed with making AI faster and more powerful, the ALIUM doctrine argues that true intelligence isn't about speed at all. It's about coherence, making sure a system's actions are always aligned with its core principles. At the end of the day, the ultimate vision here isn't just about being a faster or a more powerful nation. It's about building that era of coherence. A future where our most powerful systems are defined not by their raw capability, but by their built-in resilience, their ethical design, and their courage to refuse an action that isn't fully understood. And that really leaves us with a final thought to chew on. As we build these incredible machines that can act with a speed and scale we can barely imagine, have we ever considered that the most important feature we can give them, the greatest act of intelligence, isn't the power to act, but the wisdom and the courage to just say no?